Most men don't get blindsided by betrayal. The signs are always there, but good men ignore them. They convince themselves, she loves me, she wouldn't do that. But loyalty doesn't vanish overnight. It fades slowly, in habits, in excuses, in words that don't match actions. And if you're paying attention, you'll see the truth. That's why on this channel, we expose the lies, the red flags, and the harsh realities most men overlook. So before we dive in, hit that subscribe button, not just to support the channel, but to protect yourself from the mistakes that ruin good men. Now let's break it down. Here are 6 undeniable signs. Your woman is seeing someone else. 1. She suddenly guards her phone like a secret diary. A loyal woman treats her phone like a tool. A cheating woman treats it like a vault. Remember when she used to leave her phone on the bed unlocked? When she laughed at memes with you or asked you to reply for her? That openness is gone now. Her phone is always face down, always locked, notifications silenced. She keeps it within reach like a lifeline, not because she needs it, but because someone inside it owns her attention. The moment you touch it, she panics. She snatches it away, laughs nervously, or worse, accuses you of not trusting her. That's not about privacy. That's about protecting her double life. The truth is, affairs don't start in hotel rooms. They start in text threads, in good morning messages from men you've never met, in late-night chats that drag on after you've fallen asleep. And the reason she defends her phone so fiercely, because deep down, she knows the evidence is in there. She knows if you ever saw the full story, the mask would fall. So when her phone goes from casual to untouchable, don't call it paranoia. Call it what it is, a warning sign. 2. Her schedule doesn't add up anymore. A woman's time is the most honest reflection of her loyalty. And when she's loyal, her hours align with her words. When she's not, her schedule becomes a maze of excuses. Suddenly, she's working late even though she never used to. There's a new girls' night out that never existed before. Errands take twice as long. Traffic is always the excuse. And when you press for details, she grows defensive, not because you're wrong, but because she's juggling stories. Cheating requires time. Time to meet, time to text, time to sneak. And that time has to come from somewhere. That's why her patterns change. That's why her hours become unpredictable. Pay close attention. She says she left the office at 8, but her co-worker posts a photo at 6. She says she was shopping, but the receipts don't match the timeline. The truth is simple. If her story and her schedule don't walk in step, one of them is lying, and it's never the clock. The more you question it, the more she'll accuse you of being controlling. But remember, a woman who has nothing to hide will never fear your curiosity. Only the guilty need shadows. When her time stops belonging to you, it's because she's already giving it to someone else. Her intimacy vanishes, there feels different. A man can lie to himself about many things, but intimacy never lies. When a woman is loyal, her touch carries warmth. Her eyes carry connection. But when another man enters the picture, that bond changes, and no matter how much she tries to fake it, you will feel it. Some women go cold. They avoid your touch, turn their back at night, make endless excuses. I'm tired. I don't feel well. Not tonight. At first you accept it, thinking it's just stress or mood or hormones. But slowly nights become weeks and weeks become months. And you realize the intimacy you once shared is gone. Other women do the opposite. They come home with new energy, new moves, new ideas. Suddenly she's adventurous in ways she never was before. And while at first it feels exciting, a part of you can't ignore the question, where did she learn this? Cheating changes the bedroom in 2 ways. Either she withholds because her passion belongs to someone else, or she experiments because she's carrying someone else's influence. In both cases, the intimacy you once knew is no longer yours alone. Don't get fooled by the surface. Cheating doesn't start with sex, but once it happens, it always shows up there. A woman who once saw you as her only desire now compares you, contrasts you, and divides her body between 2 men. And when that happens, you stop being her choice and start being her backup. Or she starts arguments out of nowhere. A loyal woman protects the peace of the home. A disloyal one destroys it. Why? Because deep down, guilt eats at her. And the easiest way to carry guilt is to dump it onto you. That's why a cheating woman will start fights over the smallest things. Your tone of voice, the way you chew, the fact that you didn't answer a text fast enough. Suddenly, you're always wrong, always the problem. But here's the truth, you didn't change, she did. The fights aren't really about you, they're about her needing a reason to justify her betrayal. If she convinces herself you're difficult, controlling or unloving, then her disloyalty feels like a reaction instead of a choice. This is why she twists small issues into massive explosions. She's rewriting the story in her head, painting you as the villain, so she can play victim while entertaining another man. Men often get blindsided here. They try harder, apologize more, bend over backwards to keep the peace. But nothing works, because the arguments were never about the dishes, the text messages, or your clothes. They were about her guilt. Remember this, when a woman begins picking fights without cause, it's not conflict, it's cover. She's already halfway out the door, and the battles she starts are her way of easing her conscience while she slips further into someone else's arms. She disrespects your presence. Respect dies before love ever does. A loyal woman shows it in small ways. She listens when you speak. She values your time. She honors your presence. But when another man enters the picture, that respect begins to rot, and you'll notice it long before she admits it. She no longer looks at you the same. She scrolls her phone while you talk. She laughs at messages, but doesn't share the joke. She dresses in sweatpants at home, but transforms into a model when she's going out with the girls. Around you, she shows the bare minimum. But for someone else, she puts in the effort. Disrespect comes in subtle cuts. She rolls her eyes when you speak. She interrupts you, corrects you, belittles you in public. These aren't accidents. They're signals. She no longer sees you as the man she chose, but as the man she's slowly replacing. And here's the truth. Once respect leaves a relationship, loyalty follows. Because a woman cannot betray a man she truly respects. She can only betray one she has downgraded in her mind. The moment she stops treating you like the man in the room, it's because someone else has already taken that position in her heart. 6. Her story keeps changing. The truth is simple, it doesn't need rehearsal. Lies do. And when a woman is seeing another man, her stories begin to crack. She says she was at her friend's house, but later mentions stopping by the store. She swears she left work at 7, but her co-worker posts a photo at 6. The details never line up, and when you press, she backtracks, corrects herself, or gets angry for being questioned. Cheating women live in contradictions. They juggle timelines, excuses, and invented details. And no matter how clever the lie, sooner or later the mask slips. It could be something small, like a receipt that doesn't match her story, or a social media post that exposes her location. But if you're paying attention, the inconsistencies reveal themselves. The mistake men make is ignoring these cracks. They tell themselves, I must have heard wrong, or maybe I misunderstood. But deep down they know the truth. When her stories change, it's not memory, it's manipulation. And the more they change, the closer you are to the full betrayal being revealed. Final word, good men don't get blindsided. They get betrayed because they ignored the warnings. When she guards her phone like a prison, when her schedule stops adding up, when intimacy feels strange, when arguments appear out of nowhere, when respect fades, and when her stories no longer match, you don't need a confession. You already have your answer. Betrayal doesn't begin the night she crosses the line. It begins the moment she starts hiding, excusing and rewriting the truth. Men, protect yourselves. Protect your peace. And most importantly, trust your instincts. If this message resonated with you, don't walk away without subscribing. On this channel, we expose the lies, the red flags, and the hard truths most men never hear. Hit that button now, because the knowledge you ignore today could be the heartbreak you suffer tomorrow.